we did it. Thank you for 500 subs, everybody. I very much appreciate it. Just at the end of the year, too, just in time. My dad owes me 10 bucks now. That's pretty good. 2024, I want to change a lot of stuff on the channel. I don't mean change the content, but I'm gonna look about getting better audio equipment. I'm gonna do more edity bullshit. I'm gonna make different types of videos, probably, but the same droll, boring personality will still be at the heart of it. So I asked you guys for some of your shittest questions, and I got some pretty good questions, I ain't gonna lie. I think I got about 60 or so, just spread across everything, so I'm just gonna go through them in no particular order, and I'm just gonna wing it. I have them all listed here. I have not written responses, so I'm just gonna fuck about. God bless. Okay, I got most of the comments under the YouTube video that I put up, and I also got a couple on Instagram. So I'm just gonna run with it, and we're gonna see how we do. Alright, let's start. We're gonna start with Nathan's Nook, who left me... Holy shit. He left me 15 questions. So we're just gonna go through them. Here we go. First one. What's a book that changed the way you move or perceive the world? The two most recent examples that I can think of are probably The Stone Diaries and, like, Gariel Lutz as a person. So some of Gariel Lutz's short story collections. I'll talk about her more when I get into talking about the best books I read in 2023, so I won't get into it now. But maybe Stories in the Worst Way by Gariel Lutz. And yeah, The Stone Diaries as well by Carol Shields, that's a big one. What else? Maybe Charles Simic, the poet Charles Simic, so The World Doesn't End, maybe as an example of that. I don't know, there's definitely a few, especially this year. Number 2, do you shampoo before or after you use shower gel? I think I shampoo after. But now I realize that that's probably not the right way to do it, because the shampoo comes down over you and reduces the effort of the shower gel to make you clean and fragrant. So maybe I'm doing that. Maybe I'll switch. 3, why did you decide to start the channel? Because I wouldn't shut the fuck up elsewhere, and I wanted to compartmentalize. Number 4, looking at Disco King's origins, he started out with movies. Will there be more movie review content in the future? 100%. I haven't decided how I want to do it. I wanted to take inspiration from some movie review people and put it into books. So for example, Red Letter Media's Best of the Worst, where they have like a wheel and they spin it and they watch a bunch of fucking bad movies. I want to do that for bad books. Like, I have a wheel of bad books, and then I have to read them and rank them, I guess. I thought that was a funny idea. I just read, like, a bunch of shit. But I mean, I can still do that. In terms of movie content, I've wanted to do individual reviews or get back to it, but it is a lot of editing, and I haven't had any time this year. I probably will next year. But this year, no, I've had fuck all time, so yeah, I want to do more. I'll do more individual movie reviews. I might do some, I don't know, some cute content. Number 5, how has BookTube changed your reading habits? I've definitely read stuff I wouldn't have read if I wasn't on BookTube. Like, I would have read the first 10 pages of Prophet Song and said, no, get fucked. But thanks to you guys, I had to finish the whole thing. Number 6, favourite pastry, sausage roll. Number 7, go-to weekday happy hour drink. I like a James Squire ginger beer. I think that's an Australian brand though. I like a Great Northern. I like a Guinness. But they're not always happy hour. Number 8, go to Wildin' Out weekend drink. What is Wildin'? I don't know what that means. Probably tequila. Hangover Cure. Number 9, Hangover Cure. Scottish Genetics. Number 10, books you read as a tween. Around 11, 12, 13, I was probably reading, like, Harry Potter, Ranger's Apprentice, which is another Australian series. I read all of Matthew Riley. Fuck. I don't know. I was reading, like, action-y adult books when I was a tween. Like, Matthew Riley's a good example of that. But probably Ranger's Apprentice. I read that shit to death. Nothing else is coming to mind at the moment. Do you script your reviews / how are you so goddamn fine and succinct? Well, I am fine, but not finer than you, baby. I'd say I script like 50% of the reviews themselves. A lot of them are dot points and like funny quotes that I take from the book, and I feel like that reduces the book itself, so I try to make the review the second I finish the book so it's all fresh in my mind. But often that leads to about 6 weeks after I've made the review, I can't fucking remember anything about the book. I cannot remember a damn thing about like, I don't know, How to Build a Boat, for example. I can't remember a fucking thing about that book, other than Jordan Peterson was mentioned, but that, I can't remember the shit that I make reviews for, but I do write a lot as I read, and then I try to translate it into just bullshit. A lot of the, like, the meaning and the jokes I don't script, I don't know. Number 12, bad TV that you enjoy. Holy fuck, there's so much. I watch more I don't watch, like, Love Island or anything, but I watch a lot of bad scripted TV, like, fuck. It's between 13 Reasons Why or Riverdale. I've got to go Riverdale. Even though I haven't seen the full new season yet, it's got to be Riverdale. Bro, season 4 of Riverdale, they do a parody of The Secret History for like 14 straight episodes, so they pretend that Jughead is dead for like 5 hours straight. It's absolutely infuriating. But because it's a parody of The Secret History, all of the characters have names based on that. So instead of Donna Tart, one of the characters is called Donna Sweet. And instead of Bret Easton Ellis, there's a character called Bret Weston Wallace. Like, you can't, that's Emmy-worthy, we know it. Number 13, a book that has made you actually sob, like eating ice cream on the toilet, down and out, ugly crying, movie 2. The only book that I can really think of that did that to me or had that kind of reaction was probably The Stone Diaries. I can't think of any other really good example, unless I was a lot younger. Movies, Minari, I guess. Monster, which came out this year, which nobody fucking saw. Monster's amazing. I saw that in the State Theatre and the lights came up too early and I was like, fuck off, like, put the lights down, I don't want people to see me. What are some other examples? Do you guys know the movie Elmo in Grouchland? In Elmo and Grouchland, Elmo he goes in like a mine shaft and he spends the whole movie looking for his blanket, and then at the end of the movie he finds his blanket and he's like, yay! And he throws it up in the air as like a celebration. And when I was younger, I used to fucking like scream, cry, because I thought he was losing his fucking blanket again. He was tossing it up and I was like, no! You can put it back! And he was throwing it up in the air and it was floating towards the camera and I was like, no, please! This was last week, by the way. Number 14, does pineapple belong on pizza? I mean, I wouldn't fucking eat it, but it's your oyster. Number 15, and of course, would you love me if I was a worm? Nematode or annelid, baby, I'm with you till I die. Next up is, Yena Sung. I mispronounced that, I'm so sorry. Y-E-N-A-S-U-N-G. On YouTube. What is your favorite book from the 19th century and 20th century? Ah, shit. I cannot break books down by century. That's very difficult. Alright, 19th century is probably Moby Dick. I had to do some Googling. 19th century is Moby Dick, and then 20th century is probably Watership Down or The Autumn of the Patriarch by GGM. One of those two. What book genre do you typically stay away from, but kind of intrigued by, and what book is making you curious about that genre? That's a good-ass question. I stay away from science fiction and fantasy because I think it's all, I don't know, I'm really unimpressed a lot of the time because someone will go, you have to read this sci-fi book, it's so good, and I read it and it's straight fucking trash, like, actual trash, unbelievable trash. What book is making me curious? I read the first Malazan Book of the Fallen, in terms of epic fantasy. I read that and I really liked it, and that, I mean, I'm not... Because I read some of The Wheel of Time and I thought it was ass, and then I read some of that and I was like, I like the more military side of it, and I guess Game of Thrones is kind of the same thing, right? And Game of Thrones is great. So maybe that, but in terms of epic fantasy or sci-fi, I really don't read a lot of that, which is a shame because I think a lot of content on BookTube is that, and it's just not something I'm interested in, so I apologize. What blurbs/keywords would entice you to read a book? That's a good question. You know, I don't really have a good answer for that. I really try not to read blurbs when I look at books. If I'm choosing a book, I tend to choose it from some detail about it. Maybe I know the author, maybe it's won an award, or maybe it's just something that's come across my radar. In terms of a blurb being interesting, that wouldn't come down to any particular part of the blurb itself. I don't feel myself being drawn to any real genre. So, I don't know. No, I haven't got a good answer, sorry. Which character trope/archetype do you most identify with? I like a good dickhead turning into a good guy. I like that. Not saying that that's me. I'm still a dickhead. But I like redemption arcs. I like a good solid redemption arc. Who are some authors whose new releases you'd read immediately? Fernando Melchor, probably. That's the best one I can give you. I will pre-order her. I will pre-order her if there's an option to. Next question underneath I didn't see. What snacks should I eat while reading Paradise by Fernanda Melchor? Oh, you gotta go ice cream. Fuck, marry, kill directors. Please pick someone not Wes Anderson to kill. I want to know who else you hold in high disregard. I was watching, I think the movie was Husbands and Wives by Woody Allen, and the first shot of that movie is like a one take, but it's the shittest one take ever, where the director is, like, clearly, like, Woody Allen is in the scene, if I remember right, and the cinematographer is like running from place to place, and the camera's like fucking shaky to oblivion, and the focus is wrong, and he keeps missing marks, and he's like, oh fuck, I've got to run back. So in terms of kill, I would say Woody Allen, even though I love Midnight in Paris, and I love The Purple Rose of Cairo, I fucking hate him in his movies, and I hate him as a director, so I would kill him. I would marry Hirokazu Koreeda, and I would fuck... Who would I fuck? Ooh, I don't know. Maybe Andrew Hay? Andrew High? I don't know. I fucking know. What do you watch when you're sick? Ooh, probably the UK office or the US office. Where are you the most happy? Jervis Bay. There's some places in Jervis Bay that I really like when we go down there on holidays. So I'd say around there, Huskisson, you know, areas around there. What 3 different IPs/styles would you blend to make your ideal tattoo? What would it look like? Where would it be? Let me think about this. I would have my Mount Rushmore figures. I would have, on my right arm, I would have Dan Humphrey. No, I'd have Chuck Bass. I'd have Chuck Bass. I would have Hannah Baker, and I would have John Kramer. And they would be dressed up like the 3 Musketeers, and they would have drawn swords, and their swords would be drawn facing down towards my hand. That's a fucking... That was pretty based for off the cuff. And then on the other forearm, I would have my D'Artagnan, Jughead. Where do you want to travel? Anywhere, bro. Fucking anywhere. What else do you watch on YouTube? I watch more movie stuff than I do book stuff, on my regular day-to-day. As a booktuber, when I'm in booktube brain, I watch pretty much everything I can find. I watch a lot of people's stuff. There's no particular people I'd shout out in that regard. But when I'm not doing booktube things, I tend to watch movie reviews and movie content more. So yeah, I'd say that. What would you do if you were gifted 150,000 Australian dollars? Straight to the pokies. And finally, what is something you feel you must do before you die? I must fight a booktuber, a fellow booktuber, in a boxing ring. That is something I will look back on and be sad at if I did not complete. Alright, next person. Thank you for all those questions. Edward Giordano. I probably pronounced that wrong, I'm so sorry. If Jack Harlow's new song, Lovin' On Me, was a book, what book would it be? I have not heard this. I'm gonna have to listen to this shit. Oh, Jack Harlow, you say? Ooh, pretty white boy. Let's see. The top comment before looking at this video on YouTube, this song is, "This is how you include beautiful women in a music video without objectifying them. I'm going to press X to doubt before I watch it." Ah, alrighty. I'm Vanilla Baby. Alright, so the beat sucks, the main character's annoying, it's vanilla. It sounded like it was trying to do like a 90s rap thing with like or like an older, you know, like hip-hoppy thing. So it's trying to homage old styles, but it sucks. I'm gonna say the Goldfinch. I think that's a good, insufferable main character. How long was the song? Was it over a minute and a half? It is. Okay, yeah, it's too long. So yeah, too long, annoying. Yeah, the Goldfinch, too easy. All right. Also, what is your favorite science fiction novel/series and fantasy novel/series? Maybe Shardik by Richard Adams. That probably counts as fantasy. I would say that. Again, as I said earlier, I'm very not knowledgeable on that as a genre. So, yeah, I don't know. I could say the first Malazan Book of the Fallen. I really liked that. So thank you for those questions. Next one from... Oh, I can't pronounce it. I'm so sorry. Mitalis Hinde. 6890. Which book or book character would you like to live as? Now, you didn't say... so I wouldn't be the person, but I would be living as the person. So my mind would be in their bodies. I would say Patrick Bateman then, because he has a perfect body, he has a beautiful apartment, he just can't see the finer, he can't appreciate the finer things in life, he can't understand the joys of living, so I would be able to embody that character, and I would be able to hold off from killing people for, I don't know, maybe a fortnight. iGuy122 said, what's your favorite thumbnail? Your right thumbnail or your left one? Or do you prefer someone else's? And if so, whose? Ooh. Let's see. Right thumbnail. Currently, my left thumbnail's looking better. My right thumbnail's looking a little ratty. It's too long. I don't prefer anyone else's. I can't say I know enough thumbnails well enough. Would you make out with that thumbnail even if it had fungus? It does, and I have. How does your channel relate to Disco, King, and most importantly, The? I don't remember where the name came from. I actually can't recall. I just thought it was a funny name when I started making videos, because it's, I don't know, it's like a goofy name, and the in the title is because I have a massive sense of pride. Jacob Bullis said, do you prefer the pee-pee or the poo-poo? I would prefer the pee-pee normally, but I have been known to be partial to the poo-poo too. Bibliosophie asks, if you wrote fan fiction, what would it be? It would be Saw fan fiction, no question. Okay, here it is. So, John Kramer, when he was younger, so, okay, the movie picks up, and it follows the kid from Saw 2. The kid from Saw 2 who survives it. And he is now a cop, and there's a new Jigsaw case. And the reveal at the end of the movie is that John Kramer gave his seed, his sperm, to a woman living down the hall via a fertility clinic because she wasn't able to conceive with her husband. So she had a child that was actually technically John Kramer's. So we have the son of Saw. We have the son of Saw, and that's not the same. So the son of Saw is revealed to be someone else in the movie, but we have themes, you know, we have themes of fathers and sons, because in Saw 2, the main kid who's now the police officer had a difficult relationship with Donnie Wahlberg. So we'll have that theme of fathers and sons, and then they'll fight, they'll have a fist fight, and then the son of Saw will have a hallucination where Jigsaw appears to him in full robes, and then he'll get his leg crushed or some shit, and then just before he kills the main character, Chris Rock comes in, and we're setting up the Saw multiverse, and he beats the shit out of the son of Saw, and he's like, I told you not to come back, bitch, and he beats the shit out of him. That's my fanfic. Who would play you in your biopic, and who's directing? It would probably be the druggy kid from Baby Teeth. What the fuck is his name? Toby, is it Toby Wallace? The druggy kid from Baby Teeth, and it would probably be the director of that as well, Shannon Murphy. Yeah, that's my answer. 1C1 Pal asks, no really, how are you? Good. My arch nemesis Leah, aka Red A Rapid 523 asks, what do you have to say about the misogyny allegations? Well, I can't comment on an ongoing investigation. That question was sent in by someone I know. Katie Books asks, how you are a famous booktubers, when are you gonna start solely reading blurbs? I'm gonna sell out at 50k. At 50k is when I sell out. I'm gonna start only reading blurbs. I'm gonna start recommending books based off moods and shit like that. I'm gonna start doing vlogs where I drink coffee and hang out in Paris and pretend to read. I'm gonna do like BuzzFeed quizzes. I'm gonna host the Booker Prize. You gotta watch out though, KD, because you're gonna hit 50k real soon at the rate you're going. You're gonna have to learn to panda real fucking quick. But Buddernerdin 3475 asks, what books would you like to reread before you start BookTube channel? I think is what they meant. Or what books would I like to reread now that I have a BookTube channel? Sorry, some of the wording's a bit confusing. I really want to reread War and Peace. I don't know when the fuck I'm gonna do it, but I'd say that. I want to do a video where, and again I have a lot of ideas that I'm gonna take a while to do, but I want to do a video where I read like some of the biggest books in literature and talk about them honestly and not be like, it's so great! War and Peace I think actually is great, but some of the other massive books that people suck the dick of, like Middlemarch, I haven't read that all the way through yet, so I want to read that and see if that's really great. So far it is. But again, I want to talk about them honestly, I want to go through them, and maybe that can be vlog-like content. But yeah, Middlemarch, War and Peace, well, War and Peace answers the question. Finally, Ben Reads Goods. Which 3 authors' works would you share in a cultural exchange with aliens? That's a toughie. I would want, so if I'm sharing in a cultural exchange with aliens, I would want them to piss off. I would want them to fuck off. I don't care about any of this. They could be nice. No, get them the fuck away from me. I have the real US attitude to that. Get that shit away from me. I think we need to give them the stuff that makes us look the scariest. So what are some examples? Maybe H.G. Wells, right? H.G. Wells makes sense. So they can be like, oh fuck, we could totally die here. Important. Number 2, the Marquis de Sade. They've got to know that we're maniacs. Number 3, I don't know. No, I mean, you'd want to see if they're an advanced life form, right? That's what you'd want to see. So you'd want to recommend them some bullshit like Lucy Ellman, and if they go, wow, this is really good, we know that they're faking, they're not advanced life forms. So we need to recommend them an author that's just straight trash, and then we can see if even with that limited cultural exchange, if they're like, wow, this is total fucking penis, then we'll know, alright, we're dealing with a higher life form here, we've got to get the nukes. Alright, how many books do you have? I don't know. As a family, we've got like 1,500, 2,000. We have a whole room that's the library. It's pretty big. Me personally, I've bought maybe like 150. I have them on a shelf. I've got about 70 on a shelf, and then I have others just everywhere in my fucking room. I have to move them around whenever I film in my room. Next, who is an underrated author you love? She's not underrated, but she is underseen, and again, this is recency bias because I've read all this shit recently, but Gabrielle Lutz, again, I am going to rant when I do my best of 2023 list about her. So probably her, because she's just underseen. Everybody who reads her loves her, so it's not underrated, but definitely not as many people know her as they should. Have you ridden a camel is his last question. Ben reads good, that is. I think I have. Probably at a fair sometime. Yeah, I'd say so. Alright, and lastly, we have some of the Instagram questions. So I mean, I said in the other video that I would keep these, the authors of these questions anonymous. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but I will anyway. I'll keep them anonymous. Alright, first question. What do you hate most in life? I hate when you're on an elevator and you're going down, and at the end, there's some guy like the step in front of you, and you get to the end, and this guy steps off, and he just fucking stands there for like a second to, I don't know, read a book, jerk off, and you're right behind him, so you have to fucking, you gotta get out of the way of him, you gotta dodge him. That's what I hate the most. What do you love most about people? Their ability to do good when people aren't looking. Favorite flavor of ice cream? Banana? No, mango. Mango, but without the chunks in it. Mango. What is your field of study? History. What's your favorite ancient civilization and why? Probably the Picts, or anything from old Scotland. Yeah. And lastly, some questions from our best and brightest Plek member. Favorite thing about Plek? You guys hate things even more than I do. It's refreshing. And lastly, astrology sign, you must answer lol. It's Cancer, baby. Thank you all very much again for sending in your questions. I very much appreciate it. I'll do a best of 2023 list out soon, and then I probably won't do anything more for the rest of the year. But thank you guys all for watching the content. Very much appreciate it. Godspeed. Enjoy watching the rest of BookTube. There's a lot of stuff on there that's much better than me with far less subscribers than me. So yeah, thank you guys. Bye!